Hello everyone, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. We have an update regarding Dish Network, and the link for this article can be found down below in the description for you. It is coming from Cord Cutters News. The discussion here will be about Dish Network, in which they are selling some of its buildings for $26.75 million, and guess what? It's to its majority owner, Charlie Ergen. This, of course, as bankruptcy fears grow. This is the purpose of why they're doing this. Dish Network is having a tough time even believing in themselves at this point, which is what makes this kind of sad. Over the last couple of months, I think back in March, there was a discussion, and it looks like Dish pretty much admitted that bankruptcy might be a very, very realistic option for them. Apparently, a lot of money is due by the end of November of 2024. If that money is not raised and they do not have it to pay down debts that are owed, they may have no choice but to file. Now, New Street analysts have discussed in previous reports that we've read here on the channel that Dish is probably looking at a time frame of 4 to 6 months before they file for bankruptcy, because they've basically in such a hole that they can't get out. So basically, this option here will raise them another $26.75 million, in which they can try to reinvest into the company and hopefully turn some things around, get some money coming in. Dish has also been open about revising their wireless plans, the Boost Infinite and Boost Mobile plans. So that will be interesting. Now, that could help. That could attract more customers. I think there was a lot of missed opportunities, and Dish even admitted to this. They didn't go the right route when it came to publishing those plans, promoting them, and offering what customers would find attractive. They've been so busy trying to build out the network that they put all their eggs in one basket just trying to do that, and they forgot about the actual plans, making it attractive. They were so busy trying to make the network so good, but they didn't think about the fact that customers don't really care if your network is excellent. They just want it to work, and they want good plans. Now, there are some customers that prefer an excellent network over perks and things like that. But again, it's a mixed bag. Every customer has a different want and need when they sign up for something, anything, whether it's music, movies, whatever it is. Everyone has different tastes, different needs, and has different expectations from whatever they're subscribing to, right? So that's the case here. I do think that it'd be wise for them to upgrade those, both of those services, Boost Mobile and Boost Infinite, especially Boost Infinite, because it's supposed to be a more premium side of Boost, right? Dish Wireless, if you will. It's supposed to be a postpaid account. They do the soft, credit pull, and, it didn't really turn out to be a postpaid account. It was kind of like this, basically the same thing as Boost Mobile. For the most part, the difference was you get on Dish Native, which is now out, and many customers are, raving about it, saying it's very well, it works really well for them in their area. It's reliable. Some are saying that it's working better than the other three when stacked up against them in tests, and not just speed tests, like daily environments, doing things, streaming, just GPS, real life, situations, scenarios. So that's good, right? The network has, is getting some attention, but they went wrong about the plans, representing it as a postpaid account when it really wasn't at the time. There's no name ID. A lot of the benefits that you would find on a postpaid account were not there. So I would like to see them revise that. Also, you got to be careful with the pricing. Make sure that everything is copacetic there. Make sure all that's good. And then maybe you might start to attract more customers. There's probably a lot of customers that have maybe glanced at the Boost Infinite plans, but they were like, well, this is not really that good. For the amount of money, I could probably do a little better with another company. So, they've admitted they've missed opportunities there. So we might see that, a revise on that, a revise on the Boost Mobile side, and maybe publish it a little bit more, promote it a little bit better, and maybe they can start to gain more of a customer base, and maybe that'll help them. Another option is that Dish is talking about buying DirecTV. As I mentioned, maybe they get, if that deal goes through, they get to keep DirecTV customers, at least for the time being, helping them rake in that kind of money there and just reinvesting it back in. Maybe help them pay some debts down. Basically, what Dish has really just been doing is borrowing time. And that's what they just did here, too. They basically just sold some of their own buildings to themselves. And, it's just, that's what Dish has been doing, just borrowing time over the last 3 years, just borrowing time. And they've been good at it. It seems like nobody knows how to worm their way out of a hole better than Dish at this point. They're like the little engine that could, except I don't know if they can. Like, meaning, like, I don't know if they'll survive in the end, if they'll be able to dodge bankruptcy, but they're sure going to try. That's for sure. Their wheels are still spinning. They keep getting caught in mud, but they keep getting themselves out, at least for the time being. Now, many of you, you think it's just only a matter of time before Dish goes for bankruptcy. It's inevitable in your eyes. I didn't want to believe it 6 months ago, but I do feel like it's going to be tough for them. Something drastic would have to happen in order for them to get their hands on a lot of money. Now, like I said, reviving the plans might help a little bit. Cable, the thing with cable is if they buy DirecTV, they can maintain some of those customers for a while. Some of them are probably going to walk away for different reasons. It could be that Dish may not be the company that they want to do business with. Maybe they're old Dish Network customers and they went to DirecTV and they don't want to stay under the Dish Network umbrella. That's possible. Those things happen. How many of those customers are going to feel like that? Maybe not many. So let's say they lose a small portion, maybe 1% of customers just off of that. It's not a very big amount, but it does all add up, especially when you have no money coming in, when you're Dish and you're doing everything to raise as much money as possible. But let's say it's only like 1%. Then you have, the other percent, I don't know, 20% maybe, who's just cord cutting and they're just getting away from all kinds of cable packages altogether and they're going to streaming solutions. So I don't know. The thing with cable is no one really knows what's going to happen. We've been talking so much about how it's in a decline and how it's probably just going to fade away. But some of you have raised interesting questions. What do you do when you have streaming services that are going to start raising prices in the near future, and then they're also not offering everything that you want on those streaming services? So let's say you have YouTube TV. YouTube TV is, fairly priced, I guess, for what most consumers might look for in streaming services, in cord-cutting solutions. But they don't have every channel that you want. And let's say there's 1 or 2 channels that are missing that you want. You now will have to get another streaming service on top of that. And so on and so forth, right? Depending on the customer and what they're looking for. This can get costly. And then before you know it, you have 3 or 4 or maybe even more streaming services just to get what you could probably get on Dish Network or DirecTV or Comcast. Maybe you save $5 in the process by having multiple different platforms, but it's annoying. You can't watch it all under one umbrella. There's nothing like the cable experience where you have everything under one umbrella. You got one remote and you got one menu and you're sitting through it. And it is the best, but it's expensive, right? That's the thing here. Like, nothing beats all you can eat cable, right? Just having all your channels, it's all good, but it's expensive. That's why cord cutting was invented, because people can't afford it anymore, or they don't want to pay for it anymore. They don't want to deal with the hoopla of all the gimmicks and everything else that goes on with cable, all the contracts, the hidden fees, the bundling that you can never get out of. That's the vicious thing. When you bundle, then you're really stuck, because now you have all these services that you depend on, that maybe your family depends on, and that's how they hook you. So I don't know. I don't know what the option is going to be for Dish. probably the best thing that can happen for them is if someone went in on a network with them and or the company, and they merge with somebody. They merge with somebody, even if it's just on the wireless side. Let's say another cable company wants to go in on it. I don't know. Maybe a smaller cable company wants to sell themselves to Dish. Maybe that would help a little bit. They can use that money. But it's going to be tough. I'll tell you that. I'm open to your opinions down below in the comments. What do you think is going to happen ultimately to Dish? What way do you think they have out at this point? Looking at everything, what I've discussed with you here in this video, and what your knowledge of following Dish and what's been going on with them, what options do they really have at this point other than bankruptcy? In the next maybe 6 months or so, maybe they can push it back. Like I said, nobody knows how to get their, way out of a hole other than Dish. They're really good at that. But for how long, right? That's the question. How long? What options do you think they have? Hit me down below in the comments if you'd like. It's optional. Anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.